Hello, I'm Tan the Tan BOTC channel, and I changed the camera angle because the lighting was pretty bad, as well as the quality. I don't know why it's so fuzzy. I think part of the reason is the windows. I'm closer to the windows when I was doing that camera angle, as well as I forgot to switch on the lights. I really should have, but I got everything I wanted to say in that video, and I'm sorry for the poor quality in the previous one. It'll probably be uploaded around the same time this one is, but yeah. I'll just talk about the Dark Knight trilogy on a whole in one video. I feel like I can't do this like justice in one video. I would have to do talking about each of them individually, but I'll try my best with it. Otherwise there would be too much to talk about, and I don't feel nearly as prepared as I would. Also, I did get a new Batman deck that I really love. I literally have some Jokers that has Joker on it. But yeah, I can show that for another time. But yeah, I was crazy about Batman. This one, I actually have two copies of two of the Batmans. Batman Begins, I have two copies. And then this one comes with a comic book, has a V for Vendetta on the back. I think it's mostly the Long Halloween in here, or like it's like a collection of different stories. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, this is the original. Okay. Here's Long Halloween. Yep. Okay. I just remember mostly seeing Long Halloween in it, but it's still pretty cool. My friend Dave's a bigger fan of Batman Begins than me. I still like the film, but I will say that I think let's start with some of the cast. I do think it is a really good origin story, one of the better takes of the origin story other than Batman 89. Going into the League of Shadows was really cool to see. Though I will say Liam Neeson is phoning it in at times with such an awesome voice as his. It's kind of weird seeing him phone it in sometimes. And the twist with him being Ra's al Ghul, I thought would have been better if it was just like the title being passed down to the next, like superior in their group. But I guess not. He was Ra's al Ghul all along. But at least it's not as ridiculous as another plot twist they do in a later Dark Knight film. We'll get to that. But I really liked Christian Bale as Batman here. This felt like it was kind of doing a little bit of like a you know how Superman Returns was the return of the Christopher Reeve type of Superman. This kind of felt like it was trying to be a Christopher Nolanified return of the Michael Keaton Batman without it actually being Michael Keaton either. Because the reason that leads me to think that is because of the costume and especially the mask, because he can't turn his head again. And it's a very similarly designed costume to, with differences, of course, to the Tim Burton one. And I think it's a really good film. I wish Scarecrow was in it more because I really like Cillian Murphy, and he makes for a perfect Scarecrow, but he just doesn't have enough screen time. He also goes out like a bitch in the movie. I used to have an action figure of his Scarecrow from that, and even back then I was disappointed, but he's still great for the shorter amount of screen time you may have, whether as the Scarecrow or as Jonathan Crane, but still really cool. Christian Bale's great. Michael Caine, I love Michael Caine as Alfred. While I love Michael Goff as both Michaels as Alfred in the original, I really like Michael Caine's take. And I know Nostalgia Critic, for example, makes fun of how he always has a story. He's always having these long ass stories to tell. I've had people like that in real life though, so I don't think it's too far fetched that Alfred happens to be one of those people who can exposition to you. But he still has a lot of memorable dialogue, so I don't think it's much of a problem. I still remember a lot of the stuff he says. And I think that there's some great jokes. I still make jokes about the nice coat, and of course the freaking hilarious voice. Though there are times where him just doing his Christian Bale voice does sound cooler as Batman. Though I think it was Christopher Nolan wanted him to do the dumbass voice, but I kind of like it. Like every single one of these Dark Knight movies has at least one or two characters with a really goofy voice, so I don't mind it. Um, but yeah, this it doesn't do the action as well. I can see what they're trying to go for, making it more like the first fight scene where you see Batman when the camera's just jumping all over. I think it's trying to do more of a horror movie kind of vibe there than it is a uh, really cool action set piece. And of course, it's cool to hear him say, "I'm Batman." And there's a lot of other iconic scenes and lines that he says from the uh, what was it? The uh, hold on, let me close my door for a second. Sorry. Ugh. Roommate came back, so I had to close the door. But I like the freaking other line where he's interrogating what's his name, who I thought was gonna be Bullock, but he's something Floss, Detective Floss or whatever. Um, but can do without him. He's okay though. I liked him in Memento. But what does he say? Where the drugs going? That kind of stuff. I actually liked the Batman Begins game. I saw it as a precursor to the Arkham games before they became the Arkham games and they found their style and footing. But still, like a really excellent movie. It's not until the car chase with the Batmobile that you notice that the action's a bit choppy with the camera angles and stuff and not being able to make out the things quite as well. And the Dark Knight perfects that and spades with really cool action scenes. I remember somebody pissed me off with saying, "Oh, the truck chase scenes just ripping off the Terminator truck chase scenes." It's like, shut the frick up. The Terminator not only already did that to its own franchise a million times, but no, it isn't like that. Is one of the people being chased a freaking Terminator robot from the freaking future? No. So shut it. But yeah, still a solid film for a beginning. I want to save Dark Knight for last, but a lot of the stuff established in Dark Knight goes into the Dark Knight Rises, um, with especially with the Harvey Dent stuff, where it's revealed Harvey Dent is the one that attacked a bunch of cops, killed some cops, and even threatened to kill Gordon's family. And I think there's something Nostalgia Critic missed. I'll rewatch the part, but I think when he makes fun of Commissioner Gordon having that letter on him, I think it's right after he just not long ago got out of that party. So he's probably still wearing the clothes that has that letter on him. So might have made a whoopsie, Nostalgia Critic, but I'll rewatch to see, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that is something I have to look into, but it did make me think that maybe he made a mistake. But I do think there are other stupid parts to the script, like the Joseph Gordon. I don't like anything but Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, where he's like, I knew you were Batman just from the look on your face." That is pretty goddamn dumb. But I will say I absolutely love not only the look of him, even though he doesn't really look like the comic, and I do think Tom Hardy is a perfect casting choice for him. I even think he's great as Venom, even though that's not a good Venom or even close to the comic books. I think he is a perfect choice, and I can definitely see him as Eddie Brock and Venom. And he's really intimidating in this movie. I love his voice. Oh, you merely adopted the dog. I love that Pringles can Decker Kane voice that he has. It's just really fun. And I believe they had him dubbed over himself, so it's even funnier. But yeah, it's he has some really cool action scenes. I love finally seeing Bane break Batman in that movie. It kind of feels like justice for the terrible Bane we got in Batman and Robin, because that Bane frickin' sucked ass. I don't know why I don't have two version copies of this. I actually kind of prefer this movie over Batman Begins, but I will say that it's a little lengthier than Batman Begins, so you might find, especially like some middle parts, a little drag a little bit. But it's still a fun movie. I love the climax. I'm not a fan of Talia al Ghul also being revealed as plot twist villain, kind of like it's a Disney movie or something with their twist villains. I don't know. I just was not a fan of that. But I still really enjoy this Batman movie. I love the action scenes once again, the set pieces and the overall scale of it. I agree is freaking awesome. But yeah, it's a great Batman movie, nonetheless. And of course, the magnum opus. I know Oppenheimer is called the magnum opus, but I think this is. I love frickin' Oppenheimer, but I love The Dark Knight even more. Also, I love this frickin' case. You got Joker on the inside, and Joker's also just drawing all over parts of it and stuff. And I also have this copy of The Dark Knight. It's not in as good, the box at least is not in as good condition, but it's still really cool. Really cool to have that. I have like two copies of each Dark Knight film. And yeah, let's bring the other copy back over here. So what is this? This is a 2-disc special edition. It doesn't say widescreen or anything unless it says it on back. I'm not seeing that here. Yeah. Let me see this one. So, yeah, they're basically okay. They're basically the same thing, just with different setups, or like ones in a they come in a different disc tray, honestly. But yeah, this is one of my favorite films of all time. I love talking about this movie whenever I can. I can quote a bunch of the stuff. By the way, I do not agree with Nostalgia Critics' verses list. I actually found some of his stuff doesn't age all that well. Like, he put the side characters for Batman 89 over the side characters from The Dark Knight. I do not agree with that. He came to the conclusion because of Bob, and he completely not only left out the charismatic as hell mobsters in that movie, but also Lucius Fox. How dare you? And a bunch of the characters, Alfred, Aaron Eckert's Harvey Dent, frickin' Morgan Freeman's Lucius Fox. Everybody has iconic dialogue. It's not just the Joker. Otherwise, that the movie on a whole wouldn't work, because the Joker's like in it for a shorter amount of time than everybody else is. But people love this movie, and it's not just because of the Joker. The Joker is a giant element, but he's not nearly as in it as much as, like, say, Jack Nicholson is in the original Batman 89. As well as I like that the Joker is actually mysterious. I love him changing his scar stories. I love that voice, our new goofy voice, but still really creepy. And like, I had a friend who hated on his Joker. I don't think he entirely hates his Joker, but he didn't like his Joker as much. And he said it's because he's too scary. And I'm like, and he's not funny. And it's like, then I think not long after that, the Nostalgia Critic video came out where he said he's both. And I agree. And the funny thing to further that is Nostalgia Critic talked about what the perfect type of Joker or clown character would be is in his It review, where he says, is it better to be scary or funny? And he's like, why not both? Be funny and scary. And that's exactly what Heath Ledger's Joker is. He's funny and freaking terrifying when he needs to be. I love his freaking just about every freaking joke that comes out of him. The freaking one of my favorites is just like "You think you can steal from us and walk away? Yeah." Every time I see that, I want to see the Jeff Bridges, yeah, from Tron Legacy, like right next to it. Am I to be the perfect? Am I to be the perfect system? Yeah, yeah. I can't remember exactly what he says in that, but I love thinking of both their yas said right next to each other because they're the most hilarious yas I've ever heard in a movie. Also, the most hilarious hi. I love when he takes off his mask and Harvey Dent freaks out in his hospital bed and he just sits down. Hi. He just makes one word freaking hilarious both times. And I hate how people miscrew things like the whole hospital blowing up scene where people keep saying that there were a lot of improvised stuff behind that. No, that's not true. Why do people keep making up lies, making up Mandela effect things or whatever the hell's going on there? It's stupid and they need to stop it. It's annoying. But and then it just creates like false crap whenever somebody else has to talk about it, then it's like, no, dude, that's not how it went down. I know you heard a bunch of other dumbasses say it this way, but no, that's not how it went down. Then you have to correct them, and then you look like a dick, so thanks a lot. You started a chain reaction of dickism, of dicks. So thanks. Whether that's your purpose or not. It should never be allowed again. Frick off. But yeah, they did point out that he never looked back at the explosion afterwards, though, in like some bus footage of them riding away from the explosions of the hospital. But yeah, it's still a really hilarious scene nonetheless. Him trying to find out why the bombs aren't going off anymore, and just to have him suddenly start up again after he's messing around with his little toy. I love the final battle with them as well, and some of his final dialogue. Harvey is my ace in the hole, or no, I'm the ace in the hole. Mine's Harvey. You see, a life is like gravity. Madness is like gravity. It just takes a little push. But I'm not very good at doing his laugh. His laugh is the hardest one to me to do. I'm not very good at doing Joker laughs in general, so I kind of also improvise that as I go a lot of the time, and I find what works for me that I can actually do. So yeah, but I love the look and the makeup. He also is colorful. I always hated that people said that Joker was mostly a purple and orange themed villain. Yeah, he wears orange, but he has his more distinguishable features are green though, other than the purple suit obviously, which takes up the majority of his character's design. No, the green hair. You look at Caesar Romero's Joker over there. Frickin' what's he got? He's got frickin' pink and okay, he's technically supposed to have purple and green, but yeah, a lot of the time the Joker does have like a green shirt with the orange vest over it, but he's still got a green freaking shirt on. And then there's the freaking green hair, his iconic green hair. Would you say that that he would be purple and red because of his iconic smile? I don't know. I just found that he should be along the rest of the green and purple villains like the Green Goblin, Mysterio, and Riddler and all that. Instead of, I always got annoyed by that. And Donatello. No. But I love the new bike in this. The action sequences, like I said, freaking awesome as hell. Just an overall fantastic uh, movie in direction and tone and characters and writing and themes. Just about everything. It's a freaking awesome movie and it's one of my favorites. I would love to do a more in-depth look on this movie and the movies as a whole, but I would wait until like I feel like I could make a video like that, like I would be able to edit it the way I would want to or talk about it the way I would want to. Like there's just so many things, as well as like trying to get around copyright things if I want to show footage in the background of the movie, get the permission, of course, of the people who own the rights to it or whatever, to be able to do a review and not deal with as much freaking copyright claim garbage. But yeah, there's still a lot to talk about there. But no, that I absolutely love these. I also am still waiting on my Christian Bale Batman figure. I sadly do not have. I have a miniature one, but I didn't think it was worth pulling out, especially since it's stored away right now. But yeah, nonetheless, I hope you found this interesting. Definitely check out these movies. There's a reason they're well known. Christopher Nolan's such a legend. Speaking of which, another new thing I got recently, if I can get it in camera frame. They did not have the horse bucket, but this was all they had. They didn't even have the cup, sadly, so yeah. But I could get what I could, so I wanted something to remember my time seeing the Odyssey movie, and I'll be hopefully reviewing that in the latest Spider-Man movie. I've been mostly doing Batman stuff, mostly because Dave's taking a freaking long time to help me out game share with him so I can do Spider-Man games and such for the channel, as well as I'm still trying to figure out voices for the Spider-Man stuff. So yeah, I got to get to that stuff soon though, but I'm sorry for delaying. I also was sick for a while, so I'm sorry I haven't streamed much or done much. I had a stomach bug. Something I ate didn't settle well with me, but I'm feeling better now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. I hope you have an awesome day. If you did enjoy, like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time. And do you want to know how I got these scars? Sharp wiener.